All right, all you online learners, what we're going to be doing today is looking at solutions to two variable equations. All right, hopefully you've written this down in your journal. It says negative x minus 4y equals negative 10. Now, in these problems, what we have to do is we have to test two different points. What's one of the points that we have to test, everybody? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody's saying anything in my class, I guess. Yes, 3, 2 is one of the points that we need to test, okay? What's another point that we need to test to see if it works? There we go. Now they're awake. It's really early in the morning here. All right, so here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to test a 3 and a 2. So here we go. Negative, open parentheses. Remember, this is your x and this is your y. So what am I going to plug in for x? 3 minus 4. Open parentheses. What number am I going to plug in for y? What is it? 2. I agree. All right, there we go. That's all set up nice and neat. Now let's go ahead and do this other color, this magenta color. I'm going to do negative x minus 4y equals negative 10. So I'm going to put negative. What do I always do when I'm plugging a number in? Open up a set of parentheses. All right. This time, though, what are we plugging in? Yeah, negative 3, because that says a negative 3. So I got to plug in a negative 3. Do parentheses matter? Yes, they matter. Use them. Do it. All right. Now, what's my y value? I'm going to plug in right there. 3. Boom. You're done. Now, once you have it like this, all right, I'm going to do it in my head, but you guys can use a calculator, all right? So we're going to do is kind of use our brains here. A negative times a 3 is a negative 3. A negative 4 times a 2 is a negative 8. I'm just going to let you guys know that's not going to be equal to a negative 10 because negative 11 is not equal to negative 10. So I am not going to choose this answer. Not going to choose it. Which means I'm definitely not going to choose what? That answer because it says both. All right, see if we do that. Let's look at the next one. A negative times a negative is a positive. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. And 3 minus 12 is not equal to, wow, what's 3 minus 12? Negative 9. Negative 9 is not equal to negative 10. Man, so we're gonna have to choose neither answer in this particular case. Now, what we're gonna do real quick is what I'd like you to do is I would like you to practice right now. Practice solving for y. So I want us to right now solve for y. You're gonna have to know how to do this eventually anyway, so we're gonna practice solving for y. So what are we gonna solve for y? This is in standard form. Actually, technically it's not in standard form because that's a negative, but it's pretty close to being in standard form. All right? And we're going to solve for y. So write that down. Be ready to go. Does anybody know what we would do to isolate the y? Like we got to keep this by itself. How do we get rid of a negative x? What do we do? Yeah, so we have to make a what? We got to add an x to both sides. All right, we got to add an x to both sides. Now we have negative 4y equals x minus 10. Now all I did was just take the x and move it up front and take that negative 10 and keep it in the back. All right? See how I put that negative 10 in the back? Now we have to divide by a number. Does anybody know what number we'd have to divide every single little thing by? Yes, negative 4. All right? Not just a 4, but a negative 4. So we can divide everything by a negative 4. Why is this important? Because now it's what? Now it's y equals. Now this part right here, I'm about to highlight it. This part right here, students don't know how to change that into a fraction. So anytime you have a number divided by 4, that's the same as saying 1 over 4. But if there's a negative, it's not going to be 1 over 4. It's going to be negative 1 over 4. Usually, by the way, usually they have it out to the side. Usually it's called like negative 1 over 4, and you'll put in x next to it. Now this does simplify to a positive, but the fraction 10 over 4 reduces to 5 over 2. This is our answer in what form? What form is this in? Anybody? Yeah, slope-intercept form. What's our slope? Negative 1 over 4. What's our y-intercept? 5 over 2. The decimal to 5 over 2 is 2.5. All right, so what I'm going to do right now, this would be your answer in slope-intercept form. What I want you to do is I want you to see what Desmos can do in test mode and what it can't do in test mode. Okay, so check this out. We're going to go to Desmos test mode real quick. You guys don't have to do it with me. I'll go ahead and do it right now with you all. Now check this out. Our original equation was negative x minus 4y equaled a, what was it? Negative 10, okay? Does everybody see how you can't type that in and it will not just graph it for you? But we could graph what? Y equals negative 1 divided by 4x, and then it was what, hold on, let's see, what was it? Plus 5 over 2. Okay. There we go. So we could plot that. Now, what were the two ordered pairs that we were testing? All right. The two ordered pairs we were testing was 3, 2. All right, here we go. So I could put, not 9. 3, comma 2. Can you guys see how that point is not on our line? So that's not, when it's not on the line, that's called not a solution. If it is on the line, it is a solution. Okay. And then the other one was what? Negative 3, 3. Do you guys see how close it was? It was close to being on the line. And when we did the math, would you guys agree negative 11 is close to a negative 10 and negative 9 is close to a negative 10, but it's not what? It's not on the line. So what points would be considered a solution? 2 and a 2. 2 and a 2 would be considered to be what's called a solution. All right? So I'll go ahead and just kind of take the table off and just rewrite it. Actually, I don't want to take the table off. Let's leave it right there. Okay? But hopefully you guys can see that 2, 2, which is here, 2, 2, right there. There's 2, 2 is on the line, but these 2 points are not. Okay? So that's all you're doing. Would you guys agree it would be it's faster? It's faster simply to just plug in the numbers and see if they work versus doing what? Having to change it to y equals mx plus b and then type in the numbers and see if they work. It's a lot easier just to what? Plug the numbers in and see if it works out. Okay? So we're going to say neither. All right, so that was yesterday's assignment. Today, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you guys to write this one down. And I need you guys to title this in your journal right here. I need you to title it Complete Solutions to Two Variable Equations. And then I need you guys to write this down right there, everything as it appears. All right, so my students have finally finished writing things down because they're super good like that. So right now, I'm going to write it down a little bit bigger down here, just a little bit bigger. It says, negative 3x, then it says plus 7y, and then they have an equal sign, got an equal sign. Then it says 5x plus 2y. Okay, all right. It says complete the missing value in the solution to the equation. All right, okay, we can do this. Now, what does that value right there represent? That represents the x. So literally, what are we searching for? We're searching for the y's. All right, let's do it. Here we go. By the way, what's our x value, everybody? X value is what? Negative 5. All right, let's do it. So negative 3. What do you think I'm going to do right now? Yes, very good. I heard somebody say parentheses because you know how I like those parentheses. What number am I plugging in? Boom, plug it in. Plus 7y. Well, wait a second. Why didn't I open up a parentheses? Because I don't know what y is. I'm solving for it, so that's why I don't open up a parentheses. But here it says x, so open up a parentheses. Hot number. Negative 5. Boom. Plus 2y. There you go. Plug it in just like that. Now all you got to do is do negative 3 times negative 5, which is 15. Now you can use a calculator, if you want to. It's okay. 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. All right. All right, so now we're just solving for a variable. We got this. Just solving for a variable. Got to get all the variables to one side. All right, so which side are we going to get them? On the left side or the right side? The left side or the right? Which side? No. Left, because there's more over here. There's more. See, there's 7. What do we have here? 2. So what are we going to do? Just take the 2 away from this side. And take the 2 away from this side. How many y's do we have left? 5y. Ah, ah, ah. What's that from? Sesame Street. You ever watch the count with Sesame Street? Man. Okay, so if we get all the y's on the left-hand side, what do we got to do with all the constants or the numbers? We got to move them over here to the right-hand side. So how do we get rid of a 15, everybody? That's it. Subtract 15 from both sides. You can just feel the enthusiasm in the room. It's just like totally, exactly. So right now, we add these together. You spend 25 bucks and you spend 15 more. How much have you spent? You've spent $40. Then what do we divide both sides by? Divide it by 5. And y equals negative 8. Come on, give us a challenging problem. So what do we do over here? We type in negative 8. Drum roll. And boom! That's right, we're live, people. Not really, I'm just recording it. Okay, so here we go. Next question. Oh, this is going to be super, super, super easy. Here's a super easy one. We're not even going to spend much time on this one, okay? Great. So don't even write it down. It's not even worth writing it down. What number am I plugging in right there? 2. What's 2 times 2? What's 4 plus 5? Boom, not even worth writing down. You know what? Not even going to do it. Okay. Okay, worth writing down. Worth writing down. Can you guys write this one down, please? You're like, what do I write down? Write this down. What do I write down? Write this down. All right, here we go. I know, for some reason, why do they like negative 5s? Give us something else to plug in, right? All right, so we have x minus 5y equals negative 15. If you're wondering if I'm always this crazy, no, I'm actually crazier once I have my second cup of coffee. Oh, it's good coffee. By the way, I love the Italian sweet cream from Aldi's. They have a great brand, I'm just telling you. Though I'm not sponsored by Aldi's, that was just free advice. So, what's our x value? Negative 5. Here we go. Does anybody know what I'm going to draw right here? Yes, man. By the way, do you guys know the best predictor of future behavior? Past behavior. That's right. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So we're plugging in, boom, negative 5. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. This is not rocket science, people. This is just algebra, which they do use in rocket science. But right now, we're not dealing with rocket science. In fact, I don't even know a rocket scientist. All right, I just don't live in their circles. I just don't. All right, they're just out of this world, man. But bunch. Okay, so what do we got to do to get rid of a negative 5? Somebody say it. Yes, thank you. Yes, by the way, subtracting a negative 5, yes, is correct. Listen, if you subtract a negative 5, you know what that turns into? A positive 5. So I had a student say subtract a negative 5, which technically is true, but it turns into a positive 5. So that adds to 0. So what do we do to one side? We have to do to the other. Man, give us a hard one, huh? Oh, I guess you need to write it down correctly. Here we go. Equals. So what's negative 15 plus 5? If you owed somebody 15 bucks and you paid them back 5, what happens? You still owe, yeah, I like how you think there, buddy. You still owe them 10. Does anybody know what we need to divide both sides by? What is it? No, not 5. Negative 5. Yes, divide both sides by a negative 5. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And y equals negative 10 divided by negative 5, which is a 2. Now, can you do all this in a calculator? Absolutely. Did you guys ever remember, did any elementary school teacher like bark at you and say, one of these days you're going to need to know those multiplication and addition and subtraction and division facts? I remember one of my teachers told the class that, but you know what? She was right. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Reed. She was my second grade teacher. All right. for teaching us all those facts. And Miss Christensen, who also taught me lots of multiplication facts, and having those drills, doing all those drills, really is very, very helpful today. Here we go. So what number are we plugging in there? 2. Boom. Finally. Last one. Why do I want to do this one? Because now we're not plugging in an x, we're plugging in a y. So this is our last one. It won't even take that long. I promise this will not take long at all. I already know the answer, but we're not going to just type it in. Here we go. Just write that down. 4x plus y equals 10. I'm just going to do it right here. 4x plus open parentheses. What number am I plugging in for y right there, A? -6 equals 10. So we get 4x minus 6 equals 10. Add 6 to both sides. You get 4x equals 16. X equals 4 if you divide both sides by 4. I realize that was fast forwarding. Didn't really go over all the steps because, you know, I want my students to have a chance to get their work done. But right now, what are you either plugging in? You're either plugging in the y value or you're plugging in the x value and solving for the other. And that's all you do. Just plug in one and solve for the other. Everybody got that? Good. See how easy that is? Get 100. Make it happen.